So my name is Kaushal. I'm the founder and CEO of Teabox. Teabox is India's first vertically integrated premium brand. In short words, what we do is that we deliver the best Indian teas direct from plantations to consumers worldwide using technology and supply chain innovations. The inspiration behind Teabox was to a certain extent quite simple. I come from a tea background. My family has been in the industry for the last 80 years. But my entire growing up experience, I realized that this is one of the industries which has not innovated. It has not changed at all in the last 200 years since the Britishers found it. What I realized that even today, once the tea is produced, it takes 3 to 6 months for the end consumer, wherever they are in the world or in India, to get their cup of fresh teas. And there is even till date 5 to 7 intermediaries or middlemen between the producer and the consumer. So the idea was, if we can disintermediate the supply chain, deliver teas direct from the plantations to consumers worldwide using internet and supply chain innovations, we should be able to create a great brand. And that's the story and the inspiration and the opportunity which we are pursuing at Teabox. Tea is a product which very few people initially whom I spoke to were convinced that it could be sold online. It's a product where people would want to see it, smell it, touch it, feel it before making that decision to buying. Even my folks, when I told them I'm going to sell tea online, they thought I must have gone crazy. So initially it was difficult to convince the producers who produce some of the best teas to give their best teas to us so that we can sell it online. And slowly and steadily, thankfully, we have been able to convince most of them. But if I were to say that in terms of the number one hurdle has been overcoming the mindset of people in this industry who still believe and who predominantly think that tea as a product and a commodity cannot be sold online. Of course, we have come a long way since we started this business. In my first month, I only sold about 2 kgs of tea, a mere revenue of $256 in total. Whereas now we have, in the last 3.5 years, shipped about 30 million cups of teas to consumers in 91 countries. And what we have seen is the producers have also started working proactively with us, because they realize the benefit of using us as a channel where they get their teas to consumers in about 91 countries. Our business model to a certain extent is quite simple and clear. We buy teas, we keep inventory of the teas, then we sell it to consumers as per their requirements. And the way we have been able to disrupt so far is purely using technology and supply chain innovation. So if I give you a clear example of how we have used technology is, we have recently launched the world's first personalized tea subscription program, where what we do is that even if a consumer doesn't know much about tea, he comes to our website, he answers 4 to 5 very simple questions which will give us an idea about his palate. Once we get answers to his questions, our system, in fact, our machine learning algorithm, patent pending, it predicts that these are the kind of teas he is going to like. We ship them in a curated box. In a beautiful curated box, he tries those teas and he gives us a feedback in a structured manner. The feedback goes again to the machine learning algorithm so that every single time his choices become even clearer to the kind of teas he would like. And that's one very innovative way of using technology, because in the past we have not seen how people could use technology, how technology could be used to figure the discovery problem, because currently the main challenge in this industry is, even if people would like to drink their cup of tea, they don't know where to start. So using machine learning algorithms to figure out what kind of teas they would like to start with, and over a period of time graduate them to give them the teas they would really enjoy drinking over a period of time. The second way we are using technology is really using it in supply chain. So probably we are one of the only companies in India who ships to about 91 countries, and shipping to 91 countries requires enormous logistical challenges to overcome, regulatory challenges to overcome, and even logistics routing is very difficult. So we have again used inventory optimization, logistics route optimization technologies to figure out how I can deliver a product or an order to New York within 4 days. If someone orders from, say, Manhattan, my system can predict that if I send it by A courier, it'll take 5 days, but if I send it by B courier, it'll take 4 days. So using all of that to be able to ship to countries worldwide without a hitch, 91 countries, I think it's a clear way we couldn't have done that without technology. So we are literally a tech company. It's just that we are in the business of selling tea. India is clearly known as it is one of the world's largest producer of teas. Darjeeling is known as the champagne of teas, and Darjeeling grows only in Darjeeling region in India. Assam has its own strength for bold and for maltiness. Nilgiri has its own strength. So Indian teas collectively have a great brand recognition. Indian teas collectively have been drunk by consumers worldwide. What I think has not happened a lot is the brand creation. We have not been able to leverage the ability of growing some of the best teas to building a brand, and that is where Teabox fits in. That is where our consumers also have been very happy, because so far they have been getting their teas, their morning cup of Darjeeling or Assam tea from XYZ brand in their local store in their city, but by the time they get their teas, it's already stale or it's not as good as if it was kind of produced yesterday. So through Teabox, they get the best Indian teas no matter where they are in the world, and that's where we realize that it's the brand which has been lacked in the last 100 or 200 years. We have been very focused on growing the best teas, but we have not been focused on making a brand out of it. And Teabox vision is really to be India's first billion-dollar tea brand, leveraging internet and supply chain innovations. In terms of growth plans, we want to get into all major markets where Indian tea is already consumed in large quantities. We are already present in Russia, we have just entered China, and very soon, probably early next year, we will be getting into Korea and Japan as well. The idea is, and over a period of time, we want Teabox to be recognized and as one of the best tea brands, probably in equal likes, if not the likes of most other food and beverage brands out there. And that requires quite a bit of hard work, quite a bit of focus from our side as well. But by 2020, we should be a billion-dollar brand if everything goes as per our plan. It's kind of widespread now, being recognized that the best thing which has happened in India in the last few years is people's ability to take risk, and even after you fail after taking risk, the negative perception of that has slightly reduced over a period of time. Hence, more and more young entrepreneurs, probably like myself, are venturing into starting up on their own. I don't think we are there yet, but I think we are definitely getting there. What would and could change is most of the entrepreneurial ecosystems is concentrated in major cities such as Bangalore, Delhi, Mumbai, Pune. I come from a very small town in Siliguri, North Bengal, where the semblance of so-called this ecosystem doesn't exist. So if we could do a lot more in those areas as well, the raw talent and the raw entrepreneurial ability of people or folks who come from those areas is as good, if not better, compared to the folks who come from the best, from the major cities. So if we could combine that and give them that kind of platform, I think what we see in terms of entrepreneurial activities, they'll just magnify 10 or 100x within the next couple of years.